Sup guys, it's Sai again. I got a battle with Ryan from the Midnight Moon forums. So he sends out his Persian. I sent out my lead Venusaur. It's a pretty good lead. I don't know why no one ever uses one as a lead. He uses Fake Out, which I was kind of expecting, but it did more than I wanted it to. But he has Life Orb, so that's why. And then he goes for Hypnosis, which I'm really glad it missed because now I can KO it with Leaf Storm, and it kills the Persian. So now he sends out his Dragonite. I'm predicting a Flamethrower, so I go into my Charizard, and I was right. Takes the Flamethrower pretty good. And then I was hoping I could outspeed it, but I don't. He goes for a Thunderbolt, and my black Charizard doesn't like this white Dragonite anymore, so he dies to a Racist Dragon, gets a useless crit. So I send out my Venusaur, and I use Outrage, which I don't think anyone would expect from a Venusaur, who's usually good for support, but I'm proving him wrong. I get a useless crit, and we get a few useless crits in this game. So I'm locked into Outrage, unfortunately. I can't switch out, which I kind of wanted to. But I do some decent damage with Outrage, but then he uses Sludge Bomb, which takes me down a lot. And I get the third turn of Outrage again. I never want this, but, you know, what are you going to do? He uses Sludge Bomb, he gets a useless crit, and my Venusaur dies. It's always the first or second to die, because that's all it's good for, unfortunately. So I send out my Nidoking, and I use Earthquake, and I KOs the Venusaur. I thought that was a crit, actually. So now he sends out his Gastrodon. I use Earthquake. It did more than I thought, because I thought Gastrodon was bulky. But, you know, I guess most people just use them as a wall. So he uses Stockpile, and I know I can still KO it, because, you know, it did that much before. So I do Earthquake, and I actually don't know if his crit mattered or not. It probably didn't, not sure. But I'm guessing he knows I'm locked into Earthquake now, so he goes into his Gyarados, and I have no choice but to switch, and he knows I'm going to switch, so he uses Dragon Dance. I was hoping I could still outspeed it, but I don't. So he uses Ice Fang, and that KOs my Flygon, because Flygon is one of my favorite guys. So now I send out my Regigigas, and he uses Waterfall, and I actually thought he was going to die from this, because he has almost no defense, but he takes it better than I thought he would, and he uses Thunder, so I KO him with Thunderbolt, and yeah, not much left to say there. And he sends out his Vaporeon, uses Surf. It surprisingly doesn't KO me. So I use Thunderbolt. I surprisingly don't KO it. I'm a little surprised on both our ends. And he gets annoying leftovers. He uses Surf, and that KOs my Gigas. Which, you know, I'm fine with. I have a couple more guys. So now I send out my Nidoking again. Wasn't sure if I could outspeed it or not. I looked it up, and I sort of can. And I KO with Earthquake, and that's a good game, Ryan. Rate, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next video.